The recent snowfall that has developed across the country has caused frost to remain on the roads and also the isolation of some mountainous areas. Democratic Party Chairman Lulzim Basha said the country's economy is in a disastrous condition as a result of the government's links to drugs. According to the prestigious British newspaper The Guardian, thanks to the recent work of the City Hall, Tirana is now one of the most child-friendly cities in the world. Good evening, it's 6 o'clock on Wednesday, the 28th of February 2018. Welcome to the English edition of Aura News. My name is Alexandra and I'm here to bring you the day's top stories from across the country, translated into English. Snowfall and extreme cold swept across the country this Wednesday, with temperatures down to -10 degrees Celsius in Korcha and Debra. Consequently, frost and ice are major problems across many roads where snow is present, hindering the circulation of vehicles even with chains. The tourist village of Dardha continues to be problematic, and there is also difficulty in Voskopoja and Chaufe-Charit, where ice covers the streets. The situation in the district of Debra remains serious, where snow precipitation continues. Mountainous administrative units remain isolated, while residents raise concern about food stocks. In Kukus, the temperature dropped into the minus and snow has reached 70 centimetres at its deepest and is averaging 40 centimetres across the city. The nation's road is passable without problems, although mountainous areas remain isolated. The temperature reached -5 degrees in Puka, with the thickness of snow reaching 60 centimetres in the city, while in the Chafmali-Shemri axis is passable with chains, but there is an avalanche risk. Meanwhile, mountainous areas are facing difficulties for days as the cold weather and snowfall blanket the entire country. For the second consecutive day, snowfall was even occurring here in Tirana. Heavier snowfall was recorded in Lushnya, Fier, Berat and Vlora. Residents of Leja, unaccustomed to the snow, were involved in accidents where 6 people presented to the hospital with fractures in just 2 days. On Tuesday, the teaching process was suspended in 321 schools, some of which have been closed for several days. The Democratic Party chair Lulzim Basha has made a seething attack on the government, declaring that drug and crime money endanger an economic catastrophe for our country. The statements came after a record-breaking seizure of 613 kilograms of cocaine at the port of Durrës today, the biggest ever recorded in the country, with a value of 180 million euros. With statistics expert Ines Nuria at his side, Basha did a detailed scan of the economic situation, saying that the construction sector and public-private partnerships are being used by the government as opportunities for money laundering. The opposition leader made a direct denouncement against the municipality of Tirana. The Albanian economy is on the verge of disaster. 2016 was a record year for drugs, 2017 a record year for construction permits by the municipality of Tirana. We have a drastic increase in buildings with over 3 floors. A boom in construction funded by what? The Tirana municipality has turned into a launderer of crime and drug money, said Lulzim Basha. Regarding the public-private partnerships, Basha said the money of crime and drugs is being cleaned through the construction of incinerators. Basha accused Minister Arben Ahmetai, stressing that he is trying to buy the media instead of denouncing the affairs with the incinerators. PPPs are made to clean drug money, to waste and steal taxpayers' money, such as is the case with the incinerators, said Lulzim Basha. The opposition leader said that the government has no priority for the development of the country, while, according to him, the only purpose of the government is to transform Albania into a crime free-for-all. In 2016, Rama covered Albania with cannabis. In 2017, he used the cannabis money to destroy the political process. The government is now aiming to turn Albania into a free crime zone rather than a crime-free zone. And they are targeting tourism, construction and waste management sectors to launder their proceeds, said Lulzim Basha. The number of construction permits issued has increased considerably during 2017. According to the data from the Institute of Statistics, a total of 819 were approved, compared to just 455 permits in 2016. It was the capital that issued the majority of construction permits for the past year, followed by Fier and Durrës respectively. According to Instat, no permits for new buildings have been approved in the district of Dibra. Other districts where very few construction permits were approved are those of Kukus, with only 2, and Vlora, Jurakastra and Leja and Berat, with 6 permits issued last year. Most of the permits issued pertained to residential buildings, followed by constructions of a commercial nature, and then buildings of an engineering purpose. As a result of the increase in the number of construction permits approved, the approximate value of such construction works has also doubled, reaching the value of 49.1 billion lek, up from 25.8 billion lek in 2016. The well-known British newspaper The Guardian has dedicated a large article highlighting the Albanian capital, Tirana, as a friendly city for children. It compares the social norms of children in Britain who spend their time playing on their smartphones in their homes with how the municipality of Tirana has addressed this problem by ensuring children have areas to enjoy their time outside. The Guardian emphasises the success of the City Hall in addressing this problem and emphasises that the culture of children playing outside in Albania is clearly visible. The Guardian is not the only newspaper that has appreciated the developments in Tirana, with other prestigious publications like The Economist, Vogue, Vanity Fair, L'Espresso, all covering the Albanian capital. Despite this international recognition, the municipality of Tirana is often locally placed at the centre of attacks regarding the vision for the Albanian capital. The article featured the mayor of Tirana, Erion Veliaj, who is quoted as saying, "Do not underestimate the power of children." After a survey showed that parents in this city spent more time in their cars than with their children, the newspaper emphasised that Veliaj used this statistic as a moral compass to refocus priorities. One of the biggest initiatives praised by The Guardian is the transformation of Skanderberg Square into a pedestrian area, resulting in the reduction of air pollution by 15%. The Orbital Forest project, working with businesses to construct kindergartens and nurseries, as well as the introduction of dedicated bike lanes, were all considered to be positive developments in the city. Of course, just like with any change, there are difficulties, and the British newspaper has not ignored the violent protests that accompanied the construction of the playground at the artificial lake. Tirana is also being praised for being the City Hall of Children, with young representatives able to meet the mayor, debate with him, and then continue on to their lessons at school. The wonderful thing about children is that they have no hidden agenda, and they are the best voice to encourage their parents to recycle, walk, and use bicycles, the mayor of Tirana, Erion Veliaj, is quoted as saying. In the article, Tirana ranks among other friendly cities for children, such as Bogota, Rotterdam, Lexington, and Vancouver. The Albanian Electro Energy Corporation has sold €13.4 million worth of energy in March alone. This has provided a significant improvement in the financial situation of the corporation. The increase in energy production came as a result of heavy rainfalls during February, which significantly increased the water level in the Cascade of Drini, and as a result, also the production of electricity. The AEEC has closed the tender for March's sale of energy, exporting about 398,000 megawatts. Energy was sold to 14 companies at an average price of €34 per megawatt. This means that the company will be exporting the largest amount of energy since the crisis of the drought embroiled the energy sector, which is highly reliant on hydropower. Energy exports are able to be made only after meeting the country's needs for energy consumption. During 2017, the AEEC was involved in an energy crisis due to the lack of precipitation, with the government forced to change the budget and allocate 4.5 billion lek for energy purchases. To meet the country's energy needs, the World Bank's fund of around €23 million was also spent. People with disabilities will now receive the appropriate administrative services from the establishment specifically designed for them. Barrier-free services is the project developed by the ADISA Centre for the Provision of Public Services, which aims to improve access, obtain information and provide better services for these citizens. According to Deputy Prime Minister Shanida Mehsy, the establishment of these organisms extends across the country in order to be as close as possible to their needs. Adequate administrative services for these persons will be offered all over the country, declared Shanida Mehsy. The project aims at improvements such as providing disabled access to the buildings, offering dedicated parking spaces, orientation signals, accessible counters, video presentation in sign language, and so on. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join me again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.